Okay guys, moving on to example 2. You're given the measure of angle 8, which is, you want to find them first, is here, and the measure of angle 3, which is here, and those are on the inside of the two parallel lines, so they are alternate interior. And alternate interior angles, you could see they're the same shape, they're congruent, they're equal to each other. So 3x plus 15 is equal to 2x plus 25. So I'm going to solve. I'll subtract 2x on both sides. I have x plus 15 equals 25. Subtract 15 on both sides. X equals 10. Again, some questions just tell you to solve for x, which that would be it, or just find the measure of all 8 angles, which I would plug this back in. So angle 8 is 3 times 10 plus 15, which is 45. So if this is 45 degrees, then angle 3 is 45 degrees, then angle 1 is vertical to that, it's 45 degrees, and angle 6 is vertical to angle 8 is 45 degrees. And then angle 2 is supplementary to angle 1, so that has to add up, that has to be 135 degrees. They add up to 180, and then angle 4 is vertical to that, 135. Angle 5 is corresponding to angle 2, that's 135 degrees, and angle 7 is vertical to angle 5, 135 degrees. Okay, another one, example 3. You look at the angles. This time they're put into the diagram for you. You look at them and you say, okay, well, this angle here and this angle here are on the outside of the parallel lines and they're alternating sides. These are alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. They're the same measure. You could see this is open wide and this is open wide. So 2x plus 61 is the same as 6x minus 51. So you solve for x. Subtract 2x on both sides. 61 equals 4x minus 51. Add 51 to both sides. You have 112 equals 4x. Divide by 4. X equals 28. Okay, I'm not going to do the plugging in part, but you could then plug in, find this angle, and find all the other angles. Example 4. This time I'm going to put them into the diagram. Angle 5 is given to you 3x minus 45. That's here. And angle 7 is 2x minus plus 15. You could see they're directly across from each other. They share this common vertex. They are vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. They're the same measure. So 3x minus 45 is equal to 2x plus 15. Again, you solve the equation. Subtract 2x on both sides. X minus 45 equals 15. Add 45 to both sides. X equals 60. I would then plug this back in, find those angles, find the other ones. I'm not going to do it every time because it takes longer. Okay. The next one, example 5. These two angles are on the same side of the parallel lines and they're on the inside. So these are called same side or consecutive interior or same side interior. They are supplementary. They add up to 180 and you could see the shape of them. This one is acute, it's small, whereas the red one here is obtuse, it's open wide. So they add up to 180 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an equation that says x plus 75 plus x plus 125 is equal to 180. I'm going to combine like terms. I have 2x plus 185, 195, 200, right? 190, 200 equals 180. 2x equals, I'm going to subtract the 200, negative 20, x equals negative 10. And then you would plug that into your equation, into your expressions to find each of the angles. And then our last one is example 6. Example 6 says the measure of angle 7 is 4x minus 50. So this angle here is 4x minus 50. And the measure of angle 3, this one here, is x plus 10. Now if you look, there's no relationship, there's no direct relationship between these. That happens sometimes. That's why I saved this one for last. They're not alternate interior because they're not both on the inside. They're not vertical. They don't share a common point. They're not alternate exterior because they're not both on the exterior. They're not same side interior because they're not both on the interior. So what you have to do is you have to take a little like a two-stepper. You have to say to yourself, angle 7 is vertical with angle 5. They're the same measure. And now if you look at 3 and 5 together, 3 and 5 are consecutive interior. They're supplementary. So you can say that these two would be supplementary. Since 3 and 5 are supplementary, 3 and 7 will be supplementary because 7 is the same as 5. It's congruent, it's vertical. So my steps are angle 5 is congruent to angle 7 because they're vertical angles. And angle 3 plus angle 5 is supplementary, is 180 because they're same side interior or consecutive interior. And so angle 5 plus angle 7, angle 3 plus angle 7 must also add up to 180. So I just do x plus 10 plus x, 4x minus 50 is equal to 180. And then you solve that. So combine like terms, I have 5x minus 40 equals 180. Add 40 to both sides. I have 5x equals 220. X equals 45. Okay, and then you can plug that back in and find the other angles. So you'll have some of these to do for tonight, and then also you have, if you want, you can do extra practice on that worksheet. There's tons of extra problems. And we'll talk about this on Monday. All right, thanks. Have a nice weekend.